Welcome to this episode of The Traveling Queen. We're going to review Abbots Bliss, a home on the Deep Creek Lake in the Carmel Cove community of Swanton, Maryland. Abbots Bliss is located in the Carmel Cove community of Deep Creek Lake. It has 6 bedrooms, 4 full bathrooms, an apartment over the garage, and is dog-friendly. It sleeps 16 guests. We had 14 guests in our family who were staying there for the week. I'm going to first tell you some of the challenges we faced with this house over the course of the week that we were there. The AC just could not keep up with the temperatures, which the highs only reached into the 70s, being that we had rain for the majority of the week that we were there. The ceiling fan in the living room, we could not find a way to turn on. We flipped every switch trying to get it to turn on. We even called maintenance. They could not figure out how to turn it on. We had looked for a remote, thinking maybe there was a remote, could not find any remote. They were supposed to get back to us after checking with their head maintenance person, and they never got back with us about the ceiling fan in the living room. So pretty much that was an unusable thing for us. We did find a box fan. That had a blade broken, so we couldn't use the box fan. There were pans, frying pans, that had food encrusted on them. We couldn't even get them clean, and so they had to bring us different frying pans to use. The parking area with all of the rain had about 3 inches of water and then mud, so the large parking area became pretty much unusable for us. There was a fire alarm hanging off the wall in the loft area. In the closets, there was a lot of blankets and pillows. There was old tube TV in one, a nightstand in another. So all of that stuff kind of just thrown haphazardly in the closets was a little bit off-putting. The dryer took about 2 to 3 cycles for a small load to dry. And if you're planning to work remotely from this location, count it out. The internet connection is not good at all. It kept dropping out on us. We thought we'd do a couple of movie nights with all of the rain that we had, and we couldn't even stream a movie. The internet just kept dropping out on us. With all of the challenges, we still enjoyed our stay at Abbots Bliss. Let's take a look at what the house looks like.
You have arrived.
Welcome to Abbots Bliss. This is the large parking area. The day I recorded this, the water wasn't too bad. As the week went on and the rains continued, the water and the mud got worse. Overall, there's ample parking at this house for 16 guests. Let's tour the first floor, which includes 2 bedrooms, 1 full bath, the kitchen, and the living room. Let's head upstairs and take a tour of the loft bedroom, bathroom, and sitting area. Let's head downstairs and tour the lower level. The lower level features 2 bedrooms, a full bath, a laundry room, and a family room, complete with a pool table and a mini bar area. The bunk beds do have a small trundle underneath, so this bedroom could sleep 5 if needed. The lower level has a deck which spans the width of the house. The deck has seating for 6 on rocker swings. It's also where you access the fire pit, the hot tub, and the trail that leads down to the cove of the lake. On the main level, let's take a look at the upper level deck, which features a picnic table as well as some additional bench seating. let's take a look at the garage area. The garage downstairs features a ping pong table hangout area. It also has an additional refrigerator. The upstairs apartment features a king-size bed and a twin with a trundle. It has a full-size bathroom, as well as a little kitchenette area. Both the garage door and the main door to the house are keypad entry, so that was nice not having to worry about a key. Next, we're going to follow the trail through the woods, down the hill, to the cove area. We're going to start from the hot tub steps. This was extremely slippery from all the rain. Several in our party did slip and fall, either coming down the steps or when they hit the rocks immediately at the bottom of the steps. So watch your footing. Like the Deep Creek Lake area may have a different definition of lakefront than what I would view as being lakefront. Having to walk down this trail to the cove and there's no real access to the lake from this house, I wouldn't necessarily, in my humble opinion, consider this to be lakefront property. It's at the very tail end of a cove and it's quite swampy and muddy where you'd go to even just try to put in a kayak or a paddleboard. That concludes the tour of the house area of Abbots Bliss. I'm now going to show some of the community areas. First, I'd like to show the map that's provided for how to get to the community docks. While it does give road directions to the parking area, it doesn't give any further information. So I went exploring to see how to access the community docks. I did find a trail that led down to the dock, and I used all trails to map out the distance and elevation change to the docks, and then I walked from the docks through the woods back to Abbots Bliss. And don't worry that you're trespassing if you walk from the docks to the house or from the house to the docks. There's a buffer area that was once owned by Penelec, and a few years back, the state of Maryland bought it from the electric company. And so now that buffer area is owned by the state of Maryland. If you decide to rent a boat, you typically can only do for one day and not multiple days. The rental companies won't rent to you for multiple days because staying back here in Carmel Cove is beyond the state bridge, which is really low, and the boats cannot fit under the state bridge. This screenshot from my AllTrails app shows the trail that I walked coming from the visitors parking area down to the community docks. You can see it's about 0.13 of a mile, and it's about a 56-foot elevation drop from the parking area down to the community docks. It took me just over 3 minutes to walk this, and that was without carrying a kayak or a paddleboard. Finally, I walked the trail from the community docks back to Abbots Bliss through the woods. It was quite muddy in spots, and I had to go off trail just to find some dry-ish areas to walk on. As a reminder, this area I'm walking on is buffer area owned by the state of Maryland and does not belong to the properties. As you can see, this is why I don't necessarily consider this property to be lakefront property. It has access to the cove, but there's no direct access to the lake. This screenshot from AllTrails shows the walk from the community docks back to Abbots Bliss. It's a little over a quarter of a mile, and it took me about 8.5 minutes to walk back to the house. And again, this was without carrying a kayak, paddleboard, or any sort of rafts or anything. Now, the elevation gain on this screenshot says 13 feet. However, AllTrails takes into account your up and down, and it does the math. The actual elevation gain from the house down to the water at the base of the trail is about a 24-foot drop, or elevation rise, depending on which direction you're going. I hope you found this review of Abbots Bliss helpful. Be sure to comment and let me know below. Thanks for watching this episode of The Traveling Queen. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, get out there and explore, adventure, and roam the world.